Today's guest is another member of the Notorious Red Team, less than 2 weeks away from the Perth Corporate Rumble. We chat about Monopoly rules, gaming, dodgy UFC tickets, sleepwalking, retiring undefeated, and her lead-in to the April 22 event. Special thanks to Signet West, major sponsor of today's guest, and Gobsmacked, major sponsor of the Perth Corporate Rumble. So please welcome Miss Phoebe Laing.
Yep. Is it like Settlers of Catan, but like
It's-
a 60s
Do you
version?
know Catan?
Yeah. I've played it a couple times. I'm not a...
So good.
It's a very good game.
It's-
You can never find people to play with, though. I find that's the problem.
If you're not familiar with Catan, it is quite hard to get into it, isn't it? Like it takes a bit of not learning, but there are quite a few rules, and there is an art to it.
And it's all about strategy. You got to be someone who's like, I'm here to play a game of strategy, not just a game of like chance or luck.
Nah, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And how bad is it when you're trying to build the longest road and then someone cuts it and you just go, oh my
You're like,
God.
really?
There's no friends in Catan.
No.
Oh, it just makes
No
enemies.
alliances.
Do you notice, the cards that have got, they're made of different stuff. This isn't just our game of Catan. And they've got expansion packs. How good's that?
Yeah.
Taking things too far here. There is, on the card for wheat, the cards are made of something different. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
You have a look and they wear out. Like the actual cards deteriorate on the back and you can see who's got wheat by what they're holding because you can see it. How's
Right,
that?
that's next level kind of strategy.
We take our Catan way too seriously. We've got a massive trophy and everything. for
Really?
Catan at work.
It always love, like you can see like people like, oh yeah, I love playing games, and then Catan comes out and then it's just immediately who's going to throw the tantrum, chuck the sheep across the room and walk out.
Do you reckon, what do you think causes more dramas, Catan or Monopoly?
Oh,
There's so many different types of Monopoly now.
I know.
It used to be standard Monopoly. Now we've got a Monopoly out there that's all credit cards. There's no money.
Yeah, you just like swipe it and put it in a little calculator. I feel like that ruins the fun a little bit though. Because you're like, it's not the same as when you just like toss the rent money across the room, like, yeah, pay your bill.
Just throw it. That's the best, isn't it? Yeah, here, have your $500. Don't give a shit.
You're like,
yeah.
yep, I got nothing.
Everything's mortgaged.
Yeah.
If you land on a property and you don't want to buy it, does it automatically go to auction?
Oh, I think in the official rule book it does. But, I feel like if you want to drag it out, I feel like that's a speed run kind of way. Whereas if you're like, no, we're in this, we're going to play the long game, you got to circle back to it.
When does Monopoly ever go the long game, though? Someone always packs it after about an hour. How do you win? Is it just you bankrupt everyone?
Yeah, I think it's like everyone's bankrupt, or it's when you call it quits and then whoever's got the highest money at that time. Which I'm like, you could be really strategic about that and just be like, oh, yep, looks like it's time for bed, time to call it a day. Oh, what? I'm winning? Weird.
If you weren't winning, there's no way you'd agree to it.
No. Well, it depends how competitive you are. If you're like absolutely losing, you might be like, I'm done.
No. You're done beforehand. You don't wait.
No.
Just get the whole board, tip it over. Good luck putting those houses and hotels back up.
It's normally when the dog's tail swipes across the board and you're like, okay, let's call it a night.
Someone puts a drink over it. You're into gaming as well.
A little bit.
Tell me
yeah.
what a little bit of gaming is.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a gamer girl. I'd like to be a gamer girl.
You look like a gamer girl. You could do well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good money in it.
So good.
But
just wear those little cat ears.
The cat ears,
Just go to Comic-Con
get something a bit more revealing going on.
No, I didn't say that. I am not even going down that path. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You look like a young'un.
Thank you.
And you look moisturise every day.
Oh yeah, and the sunscreen.
You should gaming. Yeah, you do well. You do well. You look like a gamer.
It's the comfortability in the headset. Even like working from home, I got the headset set up. I had my dual screens. I had everything going. And then when we had to go back to office for work, I was like, but I don't have my mechanical keyboard. I have to wear like a little laptop keyboard now.
This isn't a mechanical keyboard, is it? Is this a mechanical keyboard?
No, I don't think so.
A mechanical keyboard's on with a big click, click, click.
Yeah.
Are they easy to use?
They're just more satisfying. Like, they annoy everyone around you
so.
because they're like click, 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 click. But because the no, I'm not an expert, but each
Sounds
key
like you.
has an individual sensor. So the reaction time of you pressing it and it going, oh, you've just pressed the letter E is faster. So that's why I use them for gaming. Whereas like that keyboard there, you've got like just one big sensor and it's like, oh, you press this spot. That relates to the E. Whereas each key has its own like textile thing. So it's like milliseconds faster. But it's also just really nice to use. And it lights up. So it changes colour. I've got a little rainbow pattern going on.
I can see this.
Yeah, your little DJ desk.
I don't know how old am I? This was a present from my boy, so that's why I got it. Yeah. It's great. It's got coffee and stuff.
Never mind the fact you requested it as a present.
Let's not talk about that. I'm into this gaming now because it was funny, some of the info that you did. Not funny, but some of the info you did give us. Gaming. The Sims. Never got into it. Tell me about The Sims. Tell me about The Sims.
I've played it all the time. Just always loved playing The Sims. I don't know why. I guess it was just accessible. It's not a lot of combat, so I can't really die. You can't die in The Sims, right?
What do you do in The Sims? You just create a world.
Yeah, you just like build houses and build people, and then they have like careers and goals and aspirations and stuff. Sounds really boring. But there's like challenges and stuff you can do. I think I like it because it's consistent and it hasn't changed. They're going to bring out Sims 5 and you're like, you can't really reinvent Sims. It's the same story that they released, 30 years ago?
But they can update it now. Whereas remember the old ones used to get on disc and whatever was on that disc, that was what you got.
Yeah.
Everything's online now.
I remember getting Sims... maybe Sims 2 or Sims 3, and it came in like a special pack. You had to buy like 4 pizzas from Domino's or something, and you had like 5 Sims discs, and you had to install them all on the like your old desktop computer. And I remember my dad being like, what are you doing? Why are there like 5 discs? How much memory are you going to take off on this like, tower? Every time you'd boot it up, you'd hear the computer like...
Just can't handle it.
Can't handle it.
One game.
It was intense.
Is PC better than console? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Quicker?
I don't think it's quicker.
I did see the length that some people go to get that one, like you said before with your keyboard, to get that 1 millisecond advantage.
It's like the people that only use like wired everything because they don't want the Bluetooth. The
Delay.
Bluetooth is too slow. So it's like got to be hardwired, got to be straight in there. So I guess in that sense, console's probably slower, but I never play games that I need that much of reaction time. Because I'm like, when I built my PC and I went to my partner because he plays some video games as well, and I was like, oh, like I want to build a new PC. Mine's getting a little slow. And he's like, oh, okay, like what games do you want to play? And I was like, oh, like The Sims and maybe like Valheim with like the kid, like our friends and stuff like that. And he was like, you could just buy like any computer and it'll play. Like
Laptop.
why do you need like a special computer? And I was like, because yours lights up and has the cool water cooling feature.
That water
I
cooler
want that.
is impressive. You want to look the part?
Yeah.
They're so bright.
Oh, I know. You can see, like, if you, like, just walking past, like, the window at night, you're like, someone's playing games.
What is going on with this gaming? It is just, it's absolute madness.
It's good.
Are you into Fortnite?
No. That's too intense for me.
That is too much for me.
And just, like, I'm always really scared to play with strangers. Like, I like playing online with my there's
there'd definitely be guys in their late 40s trying to groom you. You look the type to be groomed.
Just disgusting some of the things you hear, like, over the chats.
Yeah.
And you're just like, like, how old are these people? But then I like walk down to my partner's room and he's playing and he's swearing his head off and bullying some kids. And I'm like, are you bullying kids? And he's like, no, they're adults too. I'm just calling them children. I'm like, okay.
Some of those chats that go on there are just savage.
Yeah.
Some of them are very witty, but some of them are very personal. Like, I've heard people threaten people's lives. I'm going to come find you. I was like, geez, everyone's just going to calm down here.
Like, it's just
playing
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, it's just digital.
It's not real. I play. I got a Nintendo. Jeez, I've got a Xbox 360.
Oh, yep.
Same one. Never got Xbox Live. Standard 360.
Mm-hmm.
I got one game. NBA Jam. Right.
I thought you were going to say Viva Pinata. That would be better.
NBA Jam. I dominate on it, but that's the only game I can play. I would get destroyed at every other game, but it's the one game that I've got, obviously because I've played it for so long. I've got like all the best abilities, and I'm always Larry Bird, and I'm always do the same thing. We should have hooked up the Xbox here and done the interview while we're doing it. Where do you stand on if you're playing against a kid like a 10-year-old comes in here? This is just going to sort an argument that we had. We did have. If just for example, you had a 10-year-old son and he was in here playing a game, say NBA Jam with you, right?
For example.
Would you let him win, or would you teach him how to lose by destroying him 101 to 3? To 3.
To 3. I'd probably do best of 5.
No, he only scored 3 points and I got 101.
That's a bit rough.
I play some tight D.
That is a bit rough.
But don't you think it's good for kids to learn how to lose?
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of like, throwing an amateur in a fight, in a ring with a UFC fighter.
They got to learn. They got to learn.
Yeah.
He talks trash. He talks trash when he beats his brother. He needs to find out.
He needed to be humbled.
Oh, the D that I put on him was unbelievable. So tight. Oh, what are we even talking about? What's going on? We've been going for 21 minutes talking about that.
Just talking shit.
All right, let's get into this after we've gas-bagged about The Sims and NBA Jam for God knows how long. April 22nd. Do you know how many days away?
20?
19.
Oh, shit.
Only 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks of training left because that last week it's the ease in training. It's coming around.
I know.
It's coming around so quick.
So quick.
I met you week 2.
Yes.
You had the blue on. I still remember. I went, geez, this girl's tall. That's the first thing I thought.
All right.
No, because I was trying to match everyone up.
Yeah.
I was thinking, geez, she's going to have a reach on some people here. So who is your opponent? We'll just jump into that first.
Marnie Rio.
Marnie Rio.
Yeah.
She was in here the other day. She was. Her interview goes up Wednesday, I think it is. That's right. Yeah. She seems all right. She's
lovely.
Confident.
She is confident, but, we wanted to have a little bit of confidence.
Did you see her photo that they put up?
Yeah.
Those photos, I went into this with Jenna Greer, and I'm sorry because the photographer's obviously a wonderful person. But, and this is a big but, these photos don't do you justice.
No, they were taken before we'd started, and they were just like, okay, stand here and look tough, and I'm like, oh.
But you guys don't look anything like this anymore.
We're all so the changes to our body is incredible.
Massive.
We've all lost weight. We put on muscle. You hardly. I mean, I don't look too different, but
leaning back there. She's entering a limbo comp or something for that one.
I had to look.
You're just dodging, aren't you?
Whoop, just a bit of a slip.
You do look serious though. It's because it's black and white, and I did mention this to Marnie because she was a bit. Where's Marnie? There was a lady that fought a couple of PCRs ago named Kim Nicholson. Okay, that's Kim Nicholson there in the black and white.
Yep,
and that's her colour. It's the same photo.
Oh, okay.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, you look a lot bigger when you're
way better in the colour. Did they retake your photos?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think, did they just stop doing that? Because there was one where it was, I'm dropping some names today. I'm not going to mention a name. I'm not going to mention Marnie Mayhem Faulkner's name. But anyhow, Marnie did this pose in her first one where her fists were like this, and it was unique. And then her on the night, it was down. She looked really good for the photo. But they got you to do two, didn't they? One with arms folded. Okay, so your second one's probably going to be the one that's a cardboard cutout.
Because they said to us, they were like, "Oh, you've got to have one with your hands up to be like that's your fight you fight picture.
Yeah.
But you had to have your hands lower because, show your face off. And then the other one was your character pose, which I did like because I was like, all right, we're getting our Street Fighter poses ready. Choose your character. Who's going to bet on us?
I do like this conversation already. We're talking a lot about gaming, aren't we?
Surprise! Yeah, I'm like, I'm not a gamer, but
Have you ever gone back and played those? I mean, I know you're in your late 20s. Have you ever gone back and played those old games and had a look how bad the graphics are? How bad are they?
Like the original Lara Croft, and you're like, is that even a person?
Or like triangles
everywhere.
And people go out and get them and go, oh yeah, I'm buying this Sega Mega Drive or something that's this big. It's got Double Dragon, and I love that game. And you play it once, you go, oh, this is garbage.
I have played because I've still got the family's Nintendo 64. So
fancy.
We did bust that out not too long ago. Well, actually, it was probably during COVID, so a couple of years ago now. But replayed Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. Despite the graphics, it's still held up. Still held up.
Zelda.
Yeah.
What about GoldenEye?
I was terrible at it. That was the one that my brother would always just beat me.
That was so before its day.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was incredible. It's like Duck Hunt.
I mean, Duck Hunt's a classic. That one's never going away.
Our first one was a ColecoVision, it was called. Oh, yeah, this is back. I remember the launch. I was going to say my age. I remember the launch of the Atari 2600.
It's a while ago.
But I'm saying I'm not that old. But all I'm saying is how far it's come from the 80s to. You see that doco on computer games, and when they had like Gallagher and Asteroid, remember the old one? He used to just spin around. There was a shortage on. It wasn't whatever the Japanese equivalent of a 20-cent coin was. There was a nationwide shortage of these 20-cent coins because they were all in these computer games. And that was it. And there was lines. Like there's a 2-hour wait to play one game. Imagine that.
Now we've got them everywhere.
On the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, play a bit of Fruit Ninja. Stuff like that.
Oh, they're my high school days.
Your MySpace. You don't have a MySpace, do you?
Not that I'm going to admit to.
I looked. I went in deep. You must have deleted that.
I did delete it. I mean, I only had it for like maybe a year because I was too young for it. But it was definitely, all my siblings had it. I was like, oh, I want to be cool too. Who are my top friends?
You had top friends?
Yeah, I used to have top friends on MySpace.
I never had MySpace. I did join up. I did join up recently just so I could find some dirt on Carly. So you had top friends so you could rate your friends.
So you'd put like your top 10. So just like there'd be like, you could like rank them, and so if you had like a celebrity or someone in there, which I never did, but that's how the drama would be, because you're like, you're not in my top 10 anymore. Or it'd be like someone broke up with someone and they got dropped from the list. Yeah. You could put music on your profile and pumping jams while you were like scrolling through. Back in the days when you used to like pay for like backgrounds and stuff, the 99-cent like ringtones and phone backgrounds.
Oh, how cool were those ringtones?
You get the awesome like MySpace ones as well. Those were the days.
Those were the days. And the beauty was there was no marketing. There was no algorithms. There was nothing. It was here's your page and that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the days. Do you remember even in the early days of Instagram and Facebook how good that used to be? Now, oh my God.
Yeah.
What is going on? Are you on TikTok?
I'm not a creator. I got sucked into the void of scrolling and liking and following. I've learned a lot from TikTok, and that algorithm is insane.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Occasionally you get some weird ones. Like at the moment I'm on cow hoof restoration TikTok.
Did you see that guy? Are you talking about the guy that cut it, that one that had the cyst and stuff inside? Yeah. My God.
I watched one this morning and he pulled out a nail, and I was like, oh my God, that poor cow. But also, show me how you did this.
Oh, yeah. And how sharp must that knife be that he's cutting into the hoof with? We're in here supposed to be talking about PCR, and we're talking about cow hoof restoration. Jeez, we've gone off the rails extremely early. Let's try to swing back onto this for a sec.
Yeah, absolutely.
The unofficial PCR 10, Gobsmacked PCR 10, major sponsor Gobsmacked. You've got the shirt on today, Jade. Right there. And I think it's shrunk. Definitely
Just getting jacked.
I definitely haven't put on weight. Oh, no. I have been avoiding the gym like you would not believe. Where are you on this list? Where are you fighting?
Fight 5.
That's a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. It's very female heavy early.
Yeah. Well, we got to all get our makeup done and, you know, we know the females are, you know, the red team females are going to win. So we got to make sure we walk around before we come out and enjoy the
I do
race.
like the attitude already. It's only been, how long? Not even a week you've been in that team?
Oh, yeah. Straight away.
How quick does Nige and Glenn make you turn on the other team?
It was like match-up night and we were all like standing around. I'm like, okay, I got to go. I'm like, oh, bye, team. And I was like, bye, Glenn. It was like, what?
It's amazing. I know it's all jokes, but
yeah,
it is savage. I don't want to be part of it, so please, Glenn, Nige, anyone in any of the groups, don't put me in this chat. But you've got those chat groups going, haven't you?
Yeah.
They are just ruthless.
You got to have that like friendly competition though, especially because you spend like the first 4 weeks together where you're all like friends and mates and helping each other, and you're like, oh, I've got to beat this person now. So.
At what point did you know that you were going to be fighting Marnie?
Oh, probably week 3, I reckon. After like our first or second round of sparring, I was like, I reckon I'm leaning towards Marnie, which was good. You know, I've got the height advantage. I've got the longer arms, so I reckon I've got her.
You just got to, let me guess, you're just going to dance around and just pick her off with a jab all night?
Just a little jab, a couple of body shots, you know.
There has been some, and bigger than you two, the difference, I'm talking height discrepancies. There's been some very big differences in the past, especially in the girls.
Yeah.
And I know the last two, the shorter fighter has won both times. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not taking...
you're not taking sides.
I'm a fence sitter here. So how do you feel about being on Team Red? Team Nige?
Team Nige? I feel good.
And Craig?
Yeah, he's great. Good advice that he gives all the time. Good attitude, nice and friendly.
Good matchup, good pair. Those two, I reckon they'll work well together.
Same sort of like friendly, approachable attitude. They don't make you feel bad about not landing the punch. It's just try again, which is nice. I like that.
Have you found the training in the last week now that you've separated? Have you found it's sort of stepped up a little bit now?
It's a lot more technical, and I like that. Now we're in the smaller teams, they're a lot more focused, spending one-on-one time and going, this is your strength, instead of just everyone does sort of the same thing.
Very fighter specific training.
Yeah, a lot more serious, but also some of the fun has come back into it, because there was a point there where everyone's just tired and sore and like, why are we doing this? And now this is why we're doing it.
The body's sort of adjusted to the different type of training. How's your body holding up?
Good. I was saying before, I was like, obviously done a lot of leg work yesterday, so the legs are a little stiff. But otherwise, I'm feeling fitter than I ever have.
You do look very different to you did in that photo.
You reckon?
Have you lost? I know you're not supposed to talk about weight or anything, but have you lost weight?
I'm the same as what I was.
You look a lot leaner.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've seen has it's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount like we're just like sweating, and like I've changed my diet to like increase the protein, and I thought I would like lose a couple of kilos, but yeah, it's just I've come out the same as what I was, which is great because I feel so much better for it.
I think the scales can be misleading as well. In the sense of like, you know, water and muscle against fat.
Oh yeah, and the time of day. You know, if you're weighing yourself in the evening, you're like, that was my dinner that I ate.
That 4 kilo steak that I threw down.
That probably hasn't helped.
Who's your sponsor for this fine evening coming up in 19 days?
Signal West.
Signal West. Tell me about Signal West. You work here?
Yes, yep. So I work here. Signal West are WA's largest independently owned real estate firm. Possibly the largest in Australia. But,
possibly the best in the world, I heard.
Absolutely.
Rumours told me. Yeah.
Absolutely. We are great company to work for, great company to work with. We offer all real estate services. And I mean, fun is one of our values. So, you know.
Got to have fun.
Got to have fun. Got to be passionate about what we do. I really love being, independently owned and WA owned as well. Makes a massive difference.
Really?
Yeah.
How were the crew like you work with?
We're fairly young, most of us. We're all sort of around my age, which is nice.
So you'd have a decent Friday Arvo drinks?
Yeah, Friday Arvo drinks, definitely. And just like good banter during the office. Everyone has a sweet tooth. So there's always cake or lollies in the office, which is a struggle at the moment.
How are you going with that?
Struggling. No, wow.
No, but are you just when you said you're off the sugar, with it in your face all the time at work?
I just limit it. You know, I tell myself,
I'm not having sugar. I just limit it, Brad.
just limiting it. I mean, I was the one that brought in biscuits this morning, so I'm obviously not doing too well.
Have you been at work today?
Yeah.
Jeez, commitment coming up here.
Oh, I'm a property manager. We're always on call.
Okay, so tell me more about these guys. How did you go about getting these guys to sponsor you? Who did you approach?
So I went straight to our CEO. I was like,
what's his name?
Imran.
Tell me about Imran.
He's lovely. He's like a real tough man in the boardroom. But he's the only person in the office that has an office.
Yeah.
But then he's never in his office. He's always walking around, chatting to
socialising,
everyone. Yeah,
dishing
checking in
out
on
the
everything.
sweets.
He's normally taking the sweets.
Yeah.
I think that's why he always stops by my desk. There's always a stash there. But no, I know he's a big fan of boxing or boxers. That's where I got confused. I was like, oh, he's got boxers like the dog breed. I was like, he must like boxing.
Yeah.
Not quite.
No, not the same.
He was like, no, I like the dog breed, not the fighting.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, well.
Is he going to be there on the night?
He won't be, but his daughter will be.
Okay.
So she's one of my good friends. I also work with her. She's one of my close supporters.
She's in your top 10 on your MySpace?
She is in my top 10 on my MySpace. She has called herself my unofficial campaign manager as well.
And Hype Machine as well?
And Hype Machine.
Good. I look forward. What's her name?
Nadia.
I look forward to meeting Nadia on the night.
She was the first one I told. Like, we were sitting down over lunch and I was like, I've got something to tell you. I hope it's okay. I've signed up for Perth Corporate Rumble.
And you're sponsoring me.
How do you feel about this? And she was like, amazing. We're going to make it happen. We're getting outfits. We're getting marketing. She did a little photo shoot for me.
I like amazing. The sound of this girl.
She's insane.
You got to have that hype team behind you, don't you? Because you're going to have days where you hit struggle town and you go, I'm not doing this. And you got to have that pump up crew.
Yeah. When I'm like leaving work and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym tonight. She's like, Phoebe, you got to win. You got to bring me home a belt. I'm like,
that
okay.
Belt. You're going to mount that thing in the office if you win it?
Well, the cardboard cutout is definitely coming back to the office.
Oh, yeah.
Which is don't know how I remember that one.
Are you staying in the Crown?
No.
Okay.
I got 2 dogs, so it's hard to find a babysitter.
Only one word of advice. This isn't for you. This is for all fighters. About how many fights you got? 15 this time around.
Yeah,
15.
It's a big one.
Jeez, that is a lot of fights. Round fight 13, 14, get someone to grab it and take it. Just trust me.
Okay.
Just trust me, because I've seen some of those things end up in places they shouldn't be. So just everyone's pretty respectful of your cutout, but just make sure someone's got a chuck in the car. One of your mates driving?
My dad's driving.
Okay.
So get him to stick in the car.
Get dad to chuck that thing in the car.
He'll protect it.
Sorry, keep going.
The Signal West crew are awesome.
Yeah.
We really do love what we do. Like it can be shit working in. Am I allowed to swear?
Oh, God, yeah. You can say whatever you want. Someone, not mentioning names, Jackie Toth, dropped the C-bomb about 10 times. You can say what you like.
Like particularly property management can be like shit at times. You got roof leaks, you got tenants, you got clients. So
you got people, and when people get involved in anything, they will find a way to suck any kind of enjoyment out of it and to make something someone else's fault, and it'd be a drama. Yeah. That's just my opinion. Keep going. You do residential, or you're talking commercial property management? So you're the person to go to if say we need like a little bit of office space to rent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not saying I want to get out of here.
The studio is great here.
What's wrong with this?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But when you have launched those extra shows, you need extra room.
I do need to get out of this room, don't I? I do. I need more space, better light. Because the lights are dodgy. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so it's important to have a team around you that can be like, someone take me for coffee, or let's chat about this situation. Especially in commercial. We're doing everything from childcare centres to office towers to some weird manufacturing facilities down in the industrial area that are doing top secret projects and stuff. And you're like, all right, what are we doing today? We've had all sorts of stuff happen over the years, which is great. It keeps you on your toes. Every day is different.
Yeah. How long have you been with these guys?
5 years now.
That's nowadays. It's fun, isn't it? 5 days is 5 days. 5 years is a fair stint with the same company, and to still be happy in that company. That's saying something.
Well, we rebranded. We've just had our 1 year anniversary
of our rebrand.
So we were with Colliers International.
Okay.
So we were part of a broader, we were a franchise of a big multinational company. And it was kind of being squashed a little bit.
Okay.
And so our CEO and the board went, no, let's go out on our own. Let's show that, we can do this. We don't need the backing of a McDonald's, I suppose.
Yeah. So you can make quick decisions without running it past head office.
Yeah. I just got to walk down the hall and say, hey, can I do this? And it's awesome. And part of that whole rebrand process, everyone was involved. We went, what do we want our values to be? Even our logo, they were like, what colours do we like? And what do you resonate with? And it was an incredible experience to go through. Hard, absolutely hard, but just you feel, what's the word? You feel a part of it. You got ownership.
Okay.
I don't own it, but I've got ownership of the brand. I'm invested.
That's the word. I was trying to think of it. Okay. That sounds great. How many people work in there approximately?
150.
That's a fair few people.
So we've got teams in Perth, around the suburbs, and then we service from Esperance to Broome. So we've got people up in Geraldton and Broome and Albany and Bunbury and all over the place.
Oh, so let me guess. In winter, you suddenly have to take a work trip up.
Sorry, I've got to just something's happened. It would be nice. It would be nice.
I can't talk to you. I'm on a camel on the beach at the moment. I'm working hard.
Or just when the food and wine show is down south, just be like, I've just got to go check out this one down in Bustleton. I'll be back in a little bit.
That sounds great. I'd love to hear it when people really enjoy their jobs, and it does't sound. Some people come in and go, "Yeah, my job's great." And no, it's not. They're just saying it, but it does sound like you enjoy your job.
I do. It's
the people you work with. That's the key, isn't it? That's why I enjoy this. See these people I got to deal with? No one. I'm not really that old bitter person who sits in here and plays NBA Jam by myself.
Just by yourself.
By myself.
You log it online, bullying those kids.
Talking trash to a 9-year-old. Nice. Tell me the reasons that you wanted to apply for this.
Really just a challenge to myself.
It's a massive thing.
It is a massive thing. I've talked about it for years, and I've always said, I want to run a marathon or climb a mountain or something like that.
That sounds a little bit more, not realistic, but if I ever wanted to challenge myself, I'd say, maybe a half marathon, maybe the city to surf the 8K. I'll start there. But you go, no, I want to get into the boxing ring.
See, I feel like boxing for me is easier than running a marathon. I think I don't like running. Running is for cowards. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you should have that on a shirt. As you sit there gaming.
Yeah.
Just got nacho chips down the front of you. Running so cowards.
There I am playing Sims where there's no combat at all. But like I'm a fan. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but I'm a fan of like the UFC and gone to see it a couple of times, and I've thought that's
really
awesome.
You got tickets?
Yeah.
God, it drove me insane. There's a little UFC octagon there, see through?
Oh, yep.
There. And that's our UFC tipping belt up there.
Lovely.
It's inflatable. Yeah, I know. How the hell did you get tickets to the UFC? That was so expensive.
My partner won them in a competition.
Oh, let me guess. Was this competition run by someone that he knew?
No.
Oh, this sounds dodgy. He won tickets. Which one?
Cage punters?
No, I mean, which UFC did you go to? Cage Punters. I'll look at the director of Cage Punters, and his name will be up there.
No.
Geez, I won. That's unbelievable.
That one was dodgy because they said you guys can't. You're not the betting partner, so you can't actually run a competition for tickets for this was for the Perth one.
Yeah, the one in Feb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the UFC were like, Cage Punters, you can't run a comp. So then Cage Punters were like, well, we've already got these tickets and we've already told these people. So they were just like, yeah, we're just going to give you the tickets and here's a T-shirt to wear on the day.
Oh, and that's it. How did your partner win those tickets?
It was a Facebook competition, and they were like, share your favourite UFC moment. And my partner...
Which UFC moment?
Well, everyone else is posting, like their favourite knockouts, some spinning elbows, stuff like that. A couple of years ago...
Please say John Anik.
No.
Oh, damn it.
You would never guess. A couple of years ago, Robert Whittaker was meant to fight. And my partner...
Perth? Against Yoel Romero?
Yes.
Yeah, for the title, for the... welterweight.
I don't think it was that fight. I think it was... I can't remember which... It didn't end up going ahead. The Robert Whittaker pulled out of the fight.
Which one was that? No, he was first supposed to fight Rockhold. Here in Perth at UFC 221. I'm sure it was. Anyway, it's not important. It's not important.
But there was a competition. Again, my partner just loves entering competitions. There was a competition to win tickets or like a signed glove or something. And he'd made this video where he'd put his Robert Whittaker T-shirt up against his computer and like this, made a bit of a shrine to Robert Whittaker.
I was here, Rob fan.
He is. It's his favourite. Bobby Knuckles.
I do like Bobby Knuckles. Yeah. Broke my heart when he lost the belt to Izzy.
Oh,
Broke my heart. Broken.
Keep
going.
And then he's got my dog, or one of my dogs, in front of it, and he's got this like real solemn music, and my dog is just like praying at this Robert Whittaker altar. It's a hilarious video. It's weird, but Tristan was just like, you got to be different to win these kinds of competitions.
Got to be different.
And he posted it, and they were like, this is so weird, but this is great. We love this. Yeah. And because Robert Whittaker was meant to fight in Perth for the most recent one. Yeah. So then he was like, my partner was like, I've got to be at that fight. He was doing everything he could to get tickets. And we did. But then, Whittaker obviously didn't fight, unfortunately.
Do you know Glenn Austin tried out for the Ultimate Fighter?
Really?
Let me show you a photo. This might take me a second to find.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's Glenn. He was on the same Ultimate Fighter as Rob Whittaker.
Wow.
Yeah. So he won tickets, and I didn't win the tickets, and I didn't go, and it broke my heart. They're expensive. Jeez.
Super expensive.
So expensive.
Like, we went to Singapore last year for the Singaporean bout, which was, I was like, oh, yeah, like this is, it was a holiday. It was, like they just opened the borders, but the tickets to, like, the actual UFC weren't that expensive, a couple $100.
Okay, that's doable.
So I was like, yeah, once in a lifetime sort of thing. But yeah, when the Perth tickets came out, one of my friends paid like stupid amounts of money, like thousands of dollars.
Because you got to get semi-decent tickets there. You can't sit up the back of the ROC arena.
Well, he got like a hotel room and stuff. And I was like, you live in Perth. Why are you getting a hotel room?
Because it started like 4 a.m.
Yeah, but still. Like,
yeah, that hotel room is a bit much.
Yeah.
Maybe a work write-off.
Probably.
I had my honeymoon in the UK, and UFC 94, that's how long ago, UFC 94 was on, and I tried to convince my wife, and she just said, if you even think about taking me to the UFC on our honeymoon, It's going to be the shortest marriage of all time. I've never been. I love it though.
Oh, it was awesome. Especially like the Singaporean fight was hilarious because the crowd was full of just like Aussies, and then like some Eastern Europeans and.
Who was the main event? I can't even think. It wasn't Bisbee and Gus alone.
Teixeira.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I corrected you so quickly.
No, that's okay. You can tell that I'm a fan. I'm not a big fan. And Yuri? I can't remember his last
Yuri
name.
Prohaska.
My partner was like, Phoebe, you were so spoilt the fact that you went to this fight and you can't even remember.
Teixeira against Prohaska. That was and Shevchenko took on Santos.
Yes.
And, that's when Ioana Jacek got knocked out.
Yes.
That was one of the greatest cards of all time.
It was so good.
That Teixeira Yuri Prohaska fight was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Everyone is like, you know, you pay for the whole seat, but you're only near the edge of it. Like standing up at the end of every round, everyone's like, this is it. He's about to get knocked out, or this is it. Like, fight's over.
It's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen.
It was incredible. At the end, we like turned around and this I don't know where they were from, somewhere in Eastern Europe. They're there with their like 1-year-old son.
Nice.
And they're just bawling their eyes out. They were so emotional about the fight that these grown men are just crying because their fighter had won. It was it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You're just rubbing all this in because I've never been to an event.
I highly recommend it.
Let's get back onto this PCR. Something you did write in one of the reasons behind you doing this, which I found a bit alarming, I guess you could say, is you mentioned body issues. Okay, I'm not dismissing it at all. It breaks my heart. It really does.
I think it's like, I mean, granted, like I grew up in that early 2000s where like female body issues were just the worst. Like we can all see it now. Like all the supermodels, like
stick thin.
I can't remember who it was, but they were like, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Which is not healthy.
I'll tell you what
for
does,
a teenager.
tacos.
Yes.
That's what that tastes good. Tastes way better than skinny. Perfect example sitting right here.
But I think most of my issues were more like the other side of it. Like I'm naturally a thin person. I've always naturally been quite skinny, which is great. But then like I'm not naturally strong. I'm not naturally athletically. They used to call me baby giraffe because watching me do the hurdles is gangly.
Yep.
You know, I'm a daddy long leg spider.
Oh jeez. Just make sure if you're gonna knock that drink over, make sure you knock it over.
Yeah.
All my stuff here, okay? I'm not accident prone.
And then, I guess like I always just had these like weird things kind of happen to me. And so I never really was like happy with my body. Like I'd see people being like, oh, I just ran 5K. And I'll be like, how? How do you get your body to do that? Mine does not want to do that.
I find how to drive that far.
I go to the doctor and the doctor's like, yep, we're going to send you for all of these tests. I'm like, why? I feel fine. So a lot of it stemmed from that. And then, you know, there's always insecurities as a teenager and even like older. It's, my boobs aren't big enough. My hips are too big. My clothes don't fit. And it's always around. It's always prevalent. Coming up as a young professional, the way I looked was something that was always heavily emphasized, which pissed me off.
Really?
Because I'm like, as a young man comes out of uni, he gets his first job, he puts a suit on and he's good to go, right? But as a woman, it's okay. Make sure you've got your hair a certain way because if you got a messy bun, it's not professional. You need to have like your hair done or tidy or neat or whatever. Or, you're expected to wear high heels. Which some days it just sucks.
Oh, no. I think gumboots. We had this conversation the other day. Could you imagine if they made good gumboots?
They do.
Are you talking about Bogs? Is that what the brand is?
Oh, there's like a New Zealand brand that makes some pretty...
Really? We need to bring gumboots back. Anyway, sorry.
I do have a pair of purple steel caps that I've had to wear to site a couple of times.
Steel blues?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Talking about your hair.
Yeah, like you know, and I'm not someone that wears makeup. Like I said, like early on in my career, I would, you know, every morning you'd wake up, you'd put your makeup on, you'd put a nice dress on, you'd go to work. And then I kind of reached a point and I was like, this is ridiculous. You know, I'm working with my, you know, the people I went to uni with, like the males that I went to uni with, they've literally just rolled out of bed, had a shower, got in the car and gone to work. I'm not wearing makeup if they don't have to, you know. But even still, it's like there's still certain events or moments in your career where they're like, you know, can you elevate your look? Which
really for you?
Yeah.
In what industry was this in?
This is in property. But I think it's fairly common in any of these like corporate kind of settings. It's, you know, you need to, I don't know. Like it's weird because I'm like, if I'm going to work with someone, like if I was a client coming in looking to engage someone, yeah, I want someone who's hygienic and clean.
Gotta be. Smelling fresh.
Yeah, but if I'm engaging them for their brain, what does it matter what they're wearing? You know, I'd rather see someone looking comfortable in their clothes or not spending 2 hours on their makeup so I know that they're going to quickly pick up the phone and answer an emergency or whatever, you know? But you still get those, yeah, certain... I've had so many over the years where people have just been like terrible. I had my very first job as like a solo property. I was a valuer at the time. So my very first time going out without a supervisor. And I walked through the door and this guy like looked me up and down. And this was another professional, you know, he would have been in his like 30s or 40s. Looks me up and down and he goes, "You're a bit young and you're not Asian enough." And I was like, well, I never... did I miss something?
You're not Asian enough.
Because he just read my last name and assumed that I was of Asian descent, which I'm not. I never pretend to be. But I was like, is that really how you just instantly form a picture of someone and then you tell them that they don't meet your expectations?
Yeah, that's rough.
And then I've had other clients over the years who've been like, oh, no, you know, you're a young female. I won't work with you. But then next time I come to a meeting or whatever, like, oh, you're looking like you've really pulled yourself together. You're a lot more mature now. I'm like, I'm the same person I was 2 weeks ago. I'm just, you know, now wearing a nice dress instead of pants. Like, it's bizarre. It is changing, I think, with like the next generation coming through. But definitely the older generation, it's all about how you look and, you know, what message you're putting out. Kind of like Instagram.
Maybe that's because if you looked a certain way, like as a female, maybe you got the treatment you got was a little better. And if it's part of work, they think, well, we want you to use everything you have to get the advantage. But that's still rough. I'm not agreeing with it at all. I just sound like I justified it, didn't it? No, not at all.
Is it that? I didn't realize it was that kind of podcast.
Do you think that? Oh, that just threw me. Really, because I heard what my brain was saying and what was coming out of my mouth were two different things. I said, why can't you?
No, I do understand. It's I think, yeah, particularly like working in a male-dominated industry, when females started coming up, they were sort of held. You had to really be above and beyond because you had to prove yourself. Whereas I don't think it's that much of a case anymore. There's still obviously gender disparity, but it's getting better. But the amount of things that were like the old boys club and stuff, so women had to really be up here to meet, you know, the men that were technically down here.
Just to agree with your point, it must be hard because for everything, when you mentioned before with your makeup and stuff, even with your clothing, because guys can just rock the same suit, every day, same tie, looking great, you guys look fine, haircut's a bit fresh, 5 o'clock shadow today. That's the only difference we have to do.
Yeah.
But if a girl wears the same thing more than once and she gets known for it, She'll be crucified.
You're an outfit repeater. Saw that one last week. You wore the same pants on Monday. What are you doing?
What's your wardrobe like? Suit pants?
Yeah.
Suit pants central?
I have a few pairs, but I don't know. I do push the boundaries a little bit, I will admit. Now that I've sort of found my niche, I'm a lot more of dresses. Dresses are easier. And because I work out at lunchtime, so it's just one item that I have to remember to put back on again.
Oh, fine.
And my mum makes a lot of my clothes as well, which is great.
Your mum makes the clothes?
Yeah.
What's your mum do?
She's a teacher.
Okay.
She's a kindy teacher.
But quite a seamstress as well.
Yeah.
So what you got to have? You got to have a seamstress.
Because when I first started, like my career and stuff, I couldn't get pants that were long enough. I'm too tall.
You are tall.
And I was like, well, I'll just look ridiculous wearing, they're meant to be full-length trousers, and I got bloody pirate leg collares on.
What are those things called? Are they chinos? What are the three-quarter pants called?
I think they're collares.
Collares.
I think that, yeah, I think so.
Being the fashionistas that we both are, I
yes.
don't know what it's called.
Well, chinos are like a man's pant.
Okay.
They're like a type of fabric, I think.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it just goes, I own one suit and you've seen it at the last 3 PCRs.
Hey, if it still fits, it's still good.
Oh, it looks so good in it. Fresher than wet paint when I rock in there. I blend into the back. You don't even know I'm there. Sorry, keep going. Pants.
So I couldn't get pants that were long enough. So Mum was like, all right, no worries. And she started making me pants. And now for my birthday every year, she makes me a new dress. So I just a simple work dress, but something a bit more fun than just your normal black, white and grey.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No one's ever had a go at you for, what is it? Clothes repeating? What did you call
Outfit
it?
repeating.
Outfit repeating?
No. But then I generally, depending on the season, I could probably go about nearly a month without wearing the same outfit. I've gotten slacks and started training, but otherwise I have enough clothes that I could wear a different outfit to work.
That's what we need. Speaking of social media and someone that features highly in your social media, tell me who this good-looking rooster is that I see in a lot of your photos. And it looks like he's been in there for a while. I think this guy might be a keeper.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, it depends if he puts a ring on or not. But yes, Tristan and I have been together for, 10.5 years now. Little high school sweethearts.
There we go.
Yeah. It's a shocking photo of us. That was at the end of a wine tour.
Could I have picked a worse photo?
I don't think he's there early on, but yeah, we met.
Phasing him out, are you? Yeah, anyway.
Well, these are all my embarrassing, my high school early days ones, back when Instagram was just about pictures, not the influence.
Your Facebook's where it's at, isn't it?
Yeah, he's all over my Facebook. He's he's my best friend.
Oh, it's great.
I know, it's corny to say. We're 18 in that photo.
Look at you.
It's such babies.
Is it?
We were at a costume party.
Okay, I was going to say, that is a very unique hairdo he's rocking.
No, we're at a costume party.
Here's a nice photo of you two.
Nice one.
You two go to school together?
We did, yeah.
Which school?
Duncraig Senior High School.
Dun Craig.
So
quality.
Just the local public school.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it was good.
And so you two have been together 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That is rare for a number of factors here is very rare. The fact that you met in high school and you're still together and it's 10 years. Like 10 years it's funny, isn't it? 10 years is a long stint in marriage, let alone to be girlfriend, boyfriend. Tell me why this young man hasn't stepped up and got down on one knee.
I don't know.
He said, I want to play The Sims with you for the rest of my life.
Where we played recently, there is a game that you play as a couple.
I don't like this game already.
It's like two. It's actually quite dark, but it's about like two parents that are going through a divorce, and their kid turns them into toys, and then you have to play, like, one plays the mum and one plays the dad, like going through these obstacle courses to rekindle their relationship. It's beautiful.
Jesus.
But we played
it doesn't sound it. It sounds horrible.
No, because it's about like how I'm going to sound stupid here because hey, I've been with my boyfriend for 10 years, so I think I know something about relationships.
You know some things.
I'm not an expert, but about, learning to be friends all the time. We are very different people to who we were in high school.
That's it. It's that age bracket. It's that age switch that's been, because from 19 to 29, there's a lot of changes going on there.
Yeah. Well, we were 14. Our very first date, we were 14. So we dated for a year. If you can really call it dating, holding hands and watching movies together.
I was big in the 4 days. Yeah.
And then, we got back together again at the end of year 12. But we're just very, back then, I had different career goals. I thought, I'm gonna end up being a stay-at-home mum and just relax and enjoy my life.
Is that what you wanted to do?
For a little bit.
Yeah.
I also wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be an environmental scientist. I was going to solve crimes like NCIS. I've gone very different path.
There's nothing wrong with trying different things.
And Tristan didn't know what he wanted to do when he left school either. He did psychology at uni. He was in the Army Reserves for a bit, and now he's working as a team leader, doing recruitment in the mining industry. But throughout that time, we're very different, but we've allowed each other to grow in whatever path we wanted. Supported each other, but still learnt how to be friends and keep those things in common. So we play video games together, we go for walks. He does MMA training, which when he first started that, I was a bit, do you really want to do that? But now, it's good fun. I go and watch him train. And
where's he train?
UFC gym, Balcata.
I know the one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's where I started my boxing. I might branch out into Muay Thai or something like that, but
just throw a kick in if Marnie gets too close. Just check.
I think that would get me disqualified.
I don't know with these judges. No, these judges are fine. Well, that's great that you two are still together after that amount of time. In that age group is what I mean. That's the fascinating thing. So good on you.
Thanks.
He's going to be there on the night?
He will be. When
you're fighting, is he just going to be in this check suit just walking up and back?
Horrendous. There's a 2.5 metre gap and you got to keep from the ring.
It is. Yeah.
He will be. I was like, I'm kind of glad that I'm going to be in the ring and I don't have to stand there watching you.
He'll be calling. I can imagine him just in the ear.
Because even like watching the UFC or any of the fights and stuff that we've seen, he's focused. What are you doing? Knock his head out.
Jeez.
All in good fun.
Sounds it.
I'm making him out sound like a terrible person.
You do.
No.
10 years you've been putting is something you want to tell me off camera? I can pause this if you need some help, okay?
People were saying like, is your partner supporting you? I'm like, he's sparring with me. Like he hit me the other day. And I'm like, no, he's meant to hit me. He's meant to give me a good whack. We're on the ring. It's fine.
This doesn't sound right. Keep going.
But no, it's he hasn't been my biggest supporter in this challenge, but he's been the most realistic supporter, which I think is important.
He must be terrified.
Oh yeah, he's like, I don't want to see you get hurt at all. He's like, you actually because he trains as well, so he's like, he knows what it's like to get hit. And, have to get back up and what you need to put into it. And so he's like, are you really sure you want to do this? This is the level of commitment that you need. But he's also like, don't get hurt. Don't break your nose. Don't lose your teeth. And I'm like, it's an amateur fight. I'll be fine.
They look after you. I've said it before, is they do. And the ref does as well. I think if anyone... Firstly, the matchups are so close, anyone can win it. And next, if there was something that was seen that they go, this is not going, someone's going to get hurt here, there would, both coaches and the ref would have no dramas in stopping it. No, they don't want to see anyone get knocked out. They don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Yeah.
And it is extremely rare that someone actually does get knocked out. It has happened, but then they bounce back. I mean, you look at Kyle Atkins. He came in at short notice and his first fight ended quite quickly. And then he managed to bounce back and he fought 8 weeks later and he won. So They're looking after you.
Yeah.
They're not going to feed you to a savage or anything like that.
That was what my mum said. She was like, I don't think I want to come and watch. And I was like, oh, like, you don't have to. And she's like, oh, I just don't want to see you get hurt. And I was like, it's a professional. It's not like we're out in the back of a car park.
Nah.
Like, just going blow for blow. Like, we've got the proper protection on. We're trained. Like, and it's someone who's at the same level as me. Like, it'll be fine.
It's not it's fully sanctioned.
Yeah.
It's not like we're fighting at the Hammy Hill Rec Club after hours, bare knuckle. Okay? And it's not like Street Fighter where they dip your hands in glass and glue first. It's all sanctioned. I mean, you'd see now how serious they are with all their testing, with their the medicals and the mouth guards, the Gobsmacked mouth. Gobsmacked mouth guards, mate, sponsor. Right here, Jade. Right here, wearing the shirt today. Have you attended one of these shindigs prior to your attendance in 18 days? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it. Tell me when.
So I went to the September 2021 bout.
Was that was the first one at the Crown?
It was at the Crown.
It was the Crown.
I don't know if it was the first one at the Crown.
I believe it was the first one at the Crown.
Possibly.
That was outstanding.
It was awesome.
That was very good.
So I was a guest of Cable Wise, main sponsor.
Hang on. So you know Trent.
I do know Trent. Yes.
Did Trent have anything to do with you? Oh, Trent.
It may have been good man, over a couple of beers.
Hang on, Trent drinks beers.
Crazy. On the odd occasion.
Yeah. He's such a good man, but he's such a bad influence.
He's gotten better though lately. I'm like, what's happened to the wild days?
Yeah. He's the reason Steph Little's doing this as well. He is, isn't he?
He's been going around talking everyone into it.
He's such a bad influence. Yeah. He's a good man, Trent.
He is. But yeah, so over a couple of beers, we'd had a discussion about fighting and stuff, and he was like, "You've got to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." And then next thing I know, I'm locked in.
You're in.
That's what you get for talking shit. You got to put your money where your mouth is.
I talk shit all the time. I've never backed it up once.
Well, you might get it up in a ring.
Okay, so tell me about this event. So you rocked up. I do remember that one quite well. That was the main event with the Quokka and Chris Mills. Chris Mills dominating all fight, and then the Quokka landing the big one right at the end of round 3 to win the fight. Am I thinking of the wrong one? I think I am.
I don't remember anything about a Quokka.
Okay, let me take that one
I
out.
did drink a lot.
Let me take that. Who was fighting on this?
Brad
McElroy?
Brad McElroy, yeah.
Him against Timmy D'Souza.
Yes.
Do you know Brad McElroy's story?
Some of it, yeah, because I work with him. Well, I know I do work with him. He's one of my suppliers. Because I met.
That sounded good.
I've given him plenty of hard time. He's probably excited to see me in the ring getting a couple of head blows.
He's a very good man. Him and Timmy D'Souza, they were good mates, and they fought each other. Trent did you see the face-off between Trent and...
No.
So did you think Trent was serious when he said you were going to get in the ring?
Half serious. I thought, oh yeah, he might, remind me a couple of times, tell me to sort of sign up and do the thing. Wasn't expecting him to just put my name on a piece of paper.
He doesn't muck around.
He doesn't muck around. Yeah. But I do, shout out to Trent and to Cable Wise for pushing me into that. Major sponsor. Pushing me into it, because I think without it, I probably would have chickened out. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I should have known with Trent, because if Trent says something, he's going to make it happen. It's like when we attended the first event in 2021, we were out for a couple of drinks. We were like, oh, that'd be awesome. We'd love to attend. And he's like, done. You're all locked in. And we're like, oh, yeah, ha, ha, ha.
He usually gets about 3-4 tables, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's just got this whole
all
crew
his
there.
mates around there. Just feeding off him. But that's good. Having someone like him in your corner is obviously got to be a good thing.
Oh, he's amazing. Got me out of so many jams at work, and just always know that, deliver quality work. Cable Wise do.
Cable Wise, major sponsor. I should say that. Gobsmack and Cable Wise. Could you think of a better combo? Any boxing experience?
Boxing experience? No, technically, but undefeated. So
What about Mike Tyson punch out on the on the computer?
the computer. I do love the punching bag you get at the arcade. You know, to see who can get the highest score when you punch the bag.
Do you know how to rig that? It's
I don't need to.
It's got true. True. It's got nothing to do with, or it has how you hit it. It's the sensor above it. So what you do is you go under it and you punch up the sensor. You'll win. That's the key.
Okay.
It's the key. Okay. Anyway, back to it.
But no, I started boxing training in about January when I was considering signing up for Corporate Rumble before I realised I was signed up for the Corporate Rumble. Gobsmacked Corporate Rumble.
Gobsmacked, major sponsor.
And
Trent
loved
Cable
it.
Wise. Great question.
Absolutely loved it. I didn't realise the first couple of classes were I'd go on a Saturday morning and it was full of like the mums and like the box fit dads.
Where's this?
At in Balcatta, UFC gym.
Oh, sorry, I
Balcatta.
thought you were talking about
No.
counterballs. Okay, disregard.
And
There'd be some of those in that area, wouldn't there? I can just imagine all those clowns coming across from those western suburbs, going in there. They would have looked flawless.
you know, the matching Lululemon, you know, the nice shiny gloves. Didn't break a sweat. So the Saturday morning classes were a nice soft introduction. They were a lot more cardio, you know, boxing fitness, as Nige likes to say. And then I started going to the weeknight classes, and some of the guys in that gym are just units, and they're training to get into the UFC. So that humbled me pretty quickly. But it was good. I still love it. Absolutely love it. I reckon I'll keep up boxing after the PCR. Probably won't compete again. I'm just not that competitive.
You're just going to retire 1-0
Well, yeah.
with a win. Let someone else take the belt.
You know, undefeated. Am I the best of all time? Prove that I'm not.
I'm not the best in the world, but I'm in the top one.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where I stand. So, do you think it's because of how effective the boxing is in the sense of fitness, weight loss, strength? Do you think that's why people seem to love boxing and want to stick with it so much? Because you can go to the gym for 2 years, no changes at all.
Yeah.
Come in boxing, give yourself 5 weeks, looking cherry ripe.
I think because you feel like you said, you can go to like the gym and you can do weights, but you've got to constantly be changing that weights program.
Yeah.
You know, you're adjusting up and down, you're doing this. Boxing at the base of it is really simple. It's not like it's hard, but it's not hard. It's quite an easy concept. So I think that's why people love it, because it's like while you're doing it, that's all you can focus about. You know, that's all
Can't
you're
be
thinking about.
daydreaming.
You can't be daydreaming. Otherwise, you know, you're sleeping, you're getting hit.
Do you listen to music while you do it? That'd be quite hard, wouldn't it?
I do prefer it when they have music playing in the gym.
I mean,
but
like
that's
headphones.
just, no.
Nah. I wear those headphones so people don't talk to me. They're normally off. Just that don't talk to me.
See, I'm one of the people that has the over ear ones.
You like those?
No, the bone conducting ones. So they don't actually go in your ears. So they're good for like running and skipping and cycling and stuff.
So you can still hear the people behind you.
Yeah.
Still hear the gossip going on out there.
Yeah, well, you know, make sure no one's sneaking up on you, or, but they're good because, yeah, you can hear what's people think you're listening to music, and you are listening to music, but you can still hear everything that's going on.
So you think this could be something that this could be your regular training?
Yeah, I reckon.
It's good. I'm glad you found something new.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. That's all we need. Have you gone with your diet? I know you said before that you are up in the protein. Mm-hmm. Are you like a sweet tooth?
I am.
I
a
do
sweet
recall
tooth.
you saying
Yeah.
that. How you get? Like, are you a big carb eater? You don't like a
Love my carbs. I can't go without carbs.
pasta, or you like more a corn chip Dorito?
Normally pasta.
Yeah.
I'm like, default meal is always just pasta, tuna, salad, done.
You're
Easy.
going to get on well. I know she's your opponent, but Marnie was big on the pasta as well. We talked about having pasta afterwards.
Yeah, I know. I think the hardest thing has been like cutting that down. But I'm like, no, like you still need carbs for energy. That's what I tell myself.
Oh, you justify to yourself however you want.
Yeah.
Of course you need. You need this energy to train.
And And healthy carbs, but love it. Absolutely
Healthy.
love it.
So what's healthy carbs? Is that just carbonara? But don't bring that Parmesan cheese anywhere near me. I'm watching myself.
It's I can have boiled potatoes, but I can't have potato chip.
The same thing.
I know.
They're exactly the same thing. Chuck them in an air fryer. They're the same thing.
It's the same thing, but I tell myself it's different.
It's the same thing.
But otherwise, my diet's I've definitely cut back, and like I've stopped drinking.
How's that been?
It's been fine.
Yep.
Some weeks are easy, some weeks are hard. Like one of my friends just had like their big birthday party, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just here sipping my 0 alcohol beverage," which didn't bother me because I was like, "Women do this all the time.
All the time.
Like it's not that big deal. I can go a couple of months without alcohol." I think the thing for me is that I don't think I've noticed as much of a change as what I expected. You know how like guys like, oh, I'm going to quit piss for like a month, and then they instantly lose 20 kilos.
Do they talk like that? Do they? Are they all Italian kind of ethnic people? Are they the only ones that quit piss for a month? I sound like a Kiwi then.
I was like, I don't know what my accent's doing, but specifically that demographic.
Specifically those people. Those people. Jeez.
Okay, blame it on the edit.
I do. And it's tough. I know exactly what you're saying there, where is you make this massive sacrifice. I make a massive sacrifice. I expect to see a massive benefit. And if my benefit doesn't equal the sacrifice, not worth it. Nah.
That's what I mean. I'm like, oh, like I wish. But then, I mean, you said that you notice a big difference in how I look and like from those photos, I guess, because the changes are so subtle. I can't really see it. I'm not seeing the change yet, but everyone else has started to notice. So
I did notice. Maybe. The two of you, it's funny, you've got a lot in common, you and Marnie. I did notice a big difference with her as well in those. It's only been like 6 or 4 or 5 weeks since I last saw you. It is noticeable. I tell you what, everyone seems a little bit happier and seems to have more energy. It's like everyone's tired.
Just the nervousness?
No, everyone's tired, but everyone just seems to have a little bit more, like a bit of a quicker step in them,
Yeah.
Quicker with the responses.
I think so. Like, so fatigued, but then at the same time, just lost my head now. Definitely happier. Definitely happier. Yeah. I think that's probably been the biggest thing. For years, everyone's been like, oh, exercise is the best thing for you and it's so good for your mental health. And as someone who struggled with mental health, I've sort of done exercise, come off it, gone back on it, never really seen that true, change to your hormone levels from exercise. But after, the 3 weeks, I was like, no, I actually do feel better all the time. Like I'm waking up feeling in a better, like I'm tired, I'm sore, but mentally I'm a lot better and able to just quickly like adapt, and you get a lot of frustrations out on the bag.
I can imagine. I think once it's like a very slow improvement with things like your mental health, but once it's turned that corner, you go, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
And being in that workplace that you speak so highly of, I'm guessing there are a lot of social events, maybe a Friday arvos, drinks, things like that. How have you gone with cutting those back?
It's been hard. I've sort of like not gone to a lot of them, whereas normally, even if I wasn't drinking before, like if, I was like, oh no, I'm driving, like I would still go, whereas now I'm like, no, I want to be awake. Because even if it's not drinking, there's still like snacks and cheese and, all the good stuff. So I'm no, I'm just going to take a step back. But then after I announced like why I was doing the fight and people started like chatting to me and it was like some posters and stuff at work, people are a lot more supportive now and they're like, no, Phoebe, you drink this piece of water and have some carrot sticks, and they're supporting me. Yeah.
That's great.
Which is awesome because you're not feeling like I'm alone in doing my training. Like I've got this whole team who are behind me and want to see me succeed.
That's good because from what I've heard, a couple of people who have mentioned one of the biggest problems they face is the friend saying, oh, come on, just have one.
Yeah.
Or, this isn't going to matter. The fact that you train on a Saturday and a Sunday morning is also a big would be a big issue if you decided to have one big night. And if they found out that you did have a big night, they would not go easy on you the next day. They'd make sure it was the one and only big night that you had.
A lot of like this, particularly the Sunday morning training, I think is the hardest because like even going out for dinner now, I'm like, okay, like I'm ready to go home and start my nightly routine and go to bed. I've got training in the morning.
You sleeping well?
Yeah, apart from sleepwalking.
Burning those calories. You don't stop. Even sleeping, burning those calories.
Always training. I've actually started sleepwalking more, I think, since I've started training.
Is that dangerous?
I've only left the building like once, and that was when I was a kid and I was staying in a hotel, and I just walked out of the hotel, and it was a school camp, and the lady had to turn me around and put me back to bed.
Oh, okay. So you're being monitored. It's not like you just took off and woke up. No. Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, at the moment, like I just walk around the house doing stuff, and then my partner will notice and he'll yell at me, and I'll put myself back to bed.
You're doing cleaning or something. Just let me do this load of washing.
No, let me just like put this here. It's funny, because I thought I was just doing it like, once a month or whatever. And my partner was like, no, you do it like, twice a week or something. And I was like, oh, okay. Whatever. And then he showed me a video, and it's me just like looking like something out of The Walking Dead, just walking across the living room, and my dog is just following me like, are you okay? Like, like Billy's just like, where are you going? Whereas my other dog's like, yes, give us second dinner.
Oh, no. He's playing the game. Do you have any concerns about the night?
I don't want to lose.
Everyone says that, but in a way, I think everyone also that isn't the main issue.
I think I don't want to. I don't want the nerves to get the better of me. So it's just keeping my cool, and when I'm in the ring, even if I'm tired or if I miss a punch, just being able to bounce back and give it my everything. And not leave the ring feeling like I've held back, making sure like it's all there. I've done as best as I can, win or lose.
If you've done everything you can, and you've trained as much as you can, and you don't come away with a win, I don't think there's any reason to feel bad.
Yeah.
It's just a belt. We've talked it up. We've talked it up. It's the greatest thing of all time. And we lose. It's just a belt. Who wants that piece of jam?
I mean, I think that we're like just being able to walk out there and get in the ring and knowing, that's the challenge for me, right? That's the hurdle. After that, I'm round 5. People will be pissed by then. They won't even notice the fight.
It's a massive accomplishment to get in that ring.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't think enough people recognise that, because it's something that a lot of people, probably including myself, wouldn't do.
Well, after that, like that first training or, that first time that you get hit with a punch, because, growing up, like if you've got siblings or whatever, oh yeah, like this is fun. But as an adult, you don't hurt yourself really, and you shouldn't get into fights as an adult, so it's such a strange sensation the first time that you get hit, and you're like, and your fight or flight kicks in, and you've got to be that person that goes, no, I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to be like, oh, cower away. So it's weird.
It'll be interesting. Well, I'm sure they're going to give you plenty of practice in not hitting you, but being able to take it and keep your composure. I think a lot of it comes down to composure and cardio.
Yes.
Get that cardio sorted. I said the same thing to Marnie. I know she's your opponent. Get that cardio sorted, because there would be nothing worse than heading into round 3
and just being
gassed.
Yeah.
You hear me on the sideline just yelling at you. Being Team Red, you head to the ring first. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. I think Red always goes first.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure of that. Anyway, point is, round fight 5 is going to come up. The lights are going to go down. The announcer is going to start announcing you. Mm-hmm. What can I expect to to hear pumping over those speakers during that time. Can I have a guess first?
You can have a guess.
Let's go, girls.
It's quality.
Absolute iconic song.
Shania Twain.
You know, it's an anthem.
It is. I actually enjoy this song more now. I know it's not the most manly song, but I enjoy this song more now than I used to. It really is a good song. It's an ultimate pump-up song.
It's an ultimate pump-up song.
I'm sure Marnie was going to go, your opponent was going to go with Shania Twain at some point. Not this one. I don't know which one. Have you seen the movie, the doco with Shania Twain?
No.
Have a watch.
Okay.
Very good. Anyhow. How come we picked Shania? Man, I feel like a woman.
I had I had a long list of songs.
Let's go, girls.
Long list of songs, and like I've got a whiteboard behind my desk at work, and people would come up and write their suggestion behind me.
Really? So
We did the same thing for fight names as well.
You got the whole crew invited.
Oh yeah,
really?
It was a group decision.
They would have been so invested as well.
Yeah. Some of the suggestions, though, I was like, it's me getting in the ring. I don't think I should be walking out to some, like, heavy rap. Like, let's remember what this looks like in exercise gear. It's not that intimidating.
NWA. Fuck the police or anything like that. Jeez, who is this guy?
And a lot of the crew wanted to do a personalised diss track, which I think one of the fighters did at PCR 9, maybe?
Okay.
Or 8.
Personalised diss track.
Yeah, like write a song, dissing out Marnie. And again, I was like, this is not RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
I am not a singer.
I could see you two being mates afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's a quality young lady as well.
It's a shame I'm going to completely knock her.
She's going to have no recollection of the night. It's a shame. I'll go visit her in Royal Perth afterwards. Hey, how you going? Remember me? Yeah. Have this champagne through this straw. Oh, chat group. Yep.
Yes. So we had a long list of songs. I mean, a close runner-up was, I love a pun as well. Love a pun or play on words. So Murder on the Dance Floor.
Sophie Ellis Bextor.
Yeah.
Sophie. Like about 7 kids, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that the other day. Anyway, keep going.
Then some people were like, oh, you need something like real electronic, like Bonkers, Dizzy Rascal. And I was like, yeah, okay. My partner was like, you've got to go out there with something that's really going to knock her and confuse her. Like just something completely unhinged, like some like, death metal or like some like ominous music.
Could go the other way though. You could go like a Andrea Bocelli, Time to Say Goodbye or something. Just lull her to sleep.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if I'm coming out first or second.
First.
Well, yeah. I do.
Red. I'm pretty sure red always comes out first.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Because does that mean blue's the challenger?
I think normally the higher rating, the higher rated fighter, I'm only going by UFC here, or boxing, is the champ, or the higher rated fighter comes out second.
Oh.
She'll be the underdog going into this. I think.
It's fun. We love an underdog.
We all love the underdog. Red team all day.
I did say that I am the villain, so Marnie's too nice.
She's a nice girl.
So yeah, I wanted something dramatic. I wanted something that the crowd was going to love as well. Because if you can win the crowd over, you got to have them in your corner.
It's worth 2 points to the judges, apparently.
Like, yeah.
Apparently, that's what I hear.
And any time Shania Twain comes on, everyone loves it. Instantly, it's everything stops. Let's go, girls.
Oh.
Let's go, girls.
I know when Shania says that line, I know I just want to get up and start dancing. I do like the closed captions, loud guitar music.
Very descriptive.
That's a good song. I like it. It's a little bit older than your years as well, which I do like, because you would have been a young'un when Shania dropped this hit.
What year did she drop it?
Since 13 years ago. I reckon it was more.
Yeah,
Let's have a look.
surely.
97.
Yeah.
She dropped this hit in 97.
I was 2.
So,
So a little old for me.
that song stood the test of time, hasn't it? That's a classic. Good on you, Shania.
I mean, Shania's got some bangers even today.
Oh, the hits.
Oh,
The hits.
love it.
She's doing well. Good on you, Shania. It's Brad McElroy. Last up, nickname. What do we got?
The rent collector.
The rent collector.
The rent is due. Time to pay up or get out my ring.
Do you when you said that to pay the rent? This is going back in the 90s as well. Do you remember an NBA player? This is every guy in their 40s will just remember this. Latrell Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell, known as the landlord, okay? Not Spree, it was the landlord. And he did this ad for Converse. This is one of the most 80s ads you've ever seen in your life as well.
Time to pay the rent.
Time to pay the rent, Latrell Sprewell. See, that was it. He was a landlord. He reckons he owned the paint that much. He owned that much of the court that he used to have to charge people rent to be on there. Anyway, that's what I was thinking.
I love my accidental reference to that.
When I saw it, I went, that's Latrell Sprewell. And then I was going to bring it up, and I was thinking she's not going to know who the hell Latrell Sprewell is. You'll know who Latrell Sprewell is.
I'll have to do my research now.
What's his name?
Latrell Sprewell. The Spree?
The Spree. It's the landlord.
I don't know. Google said Spree.
Oh, Google. No. I'll ask ChatGPT. After we've finished with all of this interview, it's going to be next day. No. After we've finished with the PCR on the 22nd of April, how do you think you're going to go afterwards? Because this has been a focal point for you and for a lot of these people for a number of months. What are you going to move on to next, you think, that's going to bring you the same kind of focus and enjoyment as this event has?
Oh, I don't know yet. I have been thinking about what my next challenge would be. Definitely want to stay fit and in the gym. So I think my short-term goal would be able to do 10 chin-ups.
What are you up to now? Not 10? Okay.
Not 10.
Almost 10. Give or take, 9.
But I think it's just going to be, seeing how long I can keep this up. And, maybe getting into some MMA or Muay Thai, some kickboxing as well.
Mix it up.
Because I have really enjoyed it.
First time doing combat?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a team sport girl and I wasn't very good at it. So maybe this is why. I should have been a solo artist the whole time.
It's all about you.
Should have been a Beyonce.
There's no time for Destiny's Child anywhere around you, is there, Phoebe? No one stands in the way of Phoebe. All these people holding her back. Well, that'll be good. I mean, you've got so many options now. It used to be karate or boxing, and that's all you had. But there's so much around now.
And you can do a lot of it just for fun and for fitness. It's been an incredible journey, but it's been so much work as well. So I am looking forward to, being able to have family dinner again.
Oh, yeah. Passes.
And, have a bit more free time. But it's been awesome.
With you, if you do go into doing MMA and stuff, you and your partner, are you the kind of people that train together or separately?
I like training with him, but I hate taking direction from him. He's like the worst coach, but he blames it on me. He's like, you're just not very good at taking direction. And I'm like, you're just telling me the same instruction over and over again. I think maybe it's you. But he is good to train with because he knows what he's doing. So he's not going to just knock me out, but he will. He's very good at humbling people. Okay. And just, if you make the same mistake twice, you won't make it a third time.
Well, that's got to be a good thing, especially for the health of the romance, is being able to do things like train together. Yeah. Good on you. Imagine one day he'll probably get you in a No, what you should do, I've got it.
You planning the proposal?
I am. Triangle choke. Just slap it on. Pretend you don't know what you're doing. Just lock it in. You've got 2 free hands, and then just say, "Where's that ring? Where's that ring?" Start slapping him. There you go. when he hears this, that's what I say to him when I go up there. Maybe if you get the belt, he'll get up in there and drop to one knee.
We did talk about that because I think, was it one of the MMA fights that come to Perth, or that Perth run? Eternal?
Yeah.
I feel like after one of the guys' fights, he won and then he proposed to his girlfriend in the ring.
I think Gustafson did that to his missus.
Yeah, maybe. It did. I'm almost certain it happened. And so that's what I said. I was like, like after my fight, like, and he was like, no, it's your night. Like, I'm not going to overshadow you.
Good. See, that's respect. Good. That's what that is. Plus, if you're going to do something like that, trust me, run it by Nigel and Glenn first.
Yeah,
okay?
they would not be
They
happy.
don't want any surprises on these nights, especially Glenn. By about fight 2, Glenn's lost his nut. That's about it, mate.
Cool.
2 hours 15. We
Nice.
have gone off topic today.
You're going to have a fun time editing it.
I know. I had you and Case in here today. Oh, it's been a delight for the double. Less than 3 weeks now. I wanted to wish you all the best for the evening. Thank you very much for spending the time, for taking the afternoon off work. Oh, so much discipline to come in here and chat with me. And after the event, I open it up to everyone. If you ever want to come in here, we chuck the fight on the big screen. You can walk me through how you got the win. Show me the belt. Blow by blow. But I want to thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the night.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, mate.